Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Marcus, Eddie Marcus, again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people, operating smack down here in this park, Ojibwe Park, here in Woodbury, Minnesota. I've constantly been talking about various things. I talk about God, I talk about the world, I talk about us, and sometimes I try to explain it in such a way that we can connect the dots, see where I'm going, what the message is all about. I don't know how successful that we've been. If I looked at what the results are, if they are reflected in our society, I would say we have missed the mark a long way. And ladies and gentlemen, what I've been trying to establish as a means of understanding here is that what we look at as Republican and Democrat, what we look at as conservative and liberal is just a distraction. It's a distraction to split our minds up about the way we see different things. It's like truths and alternative truths. That is not proper. Either one is the truth and the other is the truth, or it's a lie. There's no working it out Republican and Democrat, or liberal and conservative. What is taking place really is either righteous or evil. Now see, there's no mistake about that. Righteous, yeah, those things that cause what you wouldn't mind happening to you. That which is called evil is that stuff that you don't want to happen to you under any circumstance. So that's kind of easy to understand. If we looked at stuff that way, we would probably have a better society that we lived in. But if we split it up and say, well, this is conservative, this is the way we think, and this is liberal, and this is the way we think, you got nothing but a big ball of confusion. A big ball of confusion. And so what we have happening in the world today, basically, ladies and gentlemen, is that evil, whoever is the author of evil, they say it's Satan, is trying to perpetuate evil in such a way that it overwhelms the world. Now, we understand that the world was built with an idea of righteousness, but at the same time opened up for the existence of righteousness or evil, depending upon the choices that the people make. Now, you say that people will make a choice, and how do you identify the choices that they have made? By, is it causing pain or suffering, or is it causing life? That's how you identify righteous and not righteous. But so here we are in this United States of America, where constantly we are seeing things that just does not jive up. Now let me see if I can bring it to you in such a way that you can understand. One of the worst and easiest means to recognize evil is that evil does not have any type of negotiation. Evil will have its way or it will kill you. Evil will have its way or it will kill you. Evil is a murderer. Evil, let me say it again, evil is a murderer. Now, what is going on in Ukraine today with Russia? Russia is the total personification of evil. What they're doing to the Ukrainian people, they're just murdering them. Murdering them. One man or a group of men have made a decision that we want these people to do what we want them to do. It might mean taking their land, like the natives had to lose their land in this country. It might mean turning them into slaves, like blacks were made slaves in the United States. It might mean all of that. Or it might mean a war, like the Civil War. You got to have your way or no way. You see what I'm saying? And you're willing to do what? To kill, to do that. That is amazing. Now we look at Russia, Ukraine, as I've just explained it, and then you would think that some other nations are better. Now, what would make other nations, the United Nations or America, any better than Russia? You see, the evils that Russia does, the evils that perpetuate itself across the land, they exist for two It takes two for it to happen. It takes one that is committed for it to happen, engage themselves, and the others to do nothing to prevent it. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. That's what it takes. You take one to stand up and say, no way, Jose, you got a problem. It's not going anywhere. You might have a war, but it's not going anywhere. That's when you stand up against it. So when you see evil being expressed, word kind of slipped my mind at the moment. When you see evil being expressed, then righteousness' duty is to expose it and stop it. Expose the ugliness of it and stop it. And really the easiest way to see the ugliness of it is to show how beautiful it can be done another way. The righteous way. So when you see what's happening in Ukraine, and you see the response from America and the United Nations, that's a partnership. That's evil all the way. There's no righteousness in it. You say, well, we gave them guns. That doesn't mean a thing. That you're supposed to stop it. Righteousness will stop it. Now, I'm not mad at the United States and the United Nations for not stopping it. I'm just trying to point out who you represent. You definitely do not represent righteousness. In fact, you have the same thing happening in Ukraine with the Russians that happened to George Floyd in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You got the guy that's causing the pain, the evil, Russia, the cops, same one. You got the people taking pictures who are taking the pictures of George Floyd's murder on the sideline. You got the United States and you got the rest of the United Nations and the world on the sideline watching evil do its thing to these people. Just watching evil do these things to these people. Watching evil do things to these people, and there's no righteousness anywhere. No wonder people are still talking about, will Donald Trump be the Republican candidate? Or, let's change that around. Will Donald Trump be the spokesman for evil in 2024? Let me say that one more time. I want you to understand. The question is, will Donald J. Trump, number 45, the ex-president of the United States of America, will he be the evil's candidate in 2024? And if he is, will he be running against another evil candidate, or will he be running against the righteousness? That's a question you should have in your mind. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'd take some time to share these things with you. Now, if you can understand what is happening in Ukraine, if you can understand what is happening with Russia, then you might be able to understand what happened on January the 6th. It's the same identical thing. It's just that for some strange reason up to that point, just as in Ukraine, Russia has not overcome. It has not taken over yet. And the emphasis that were exercised on the 6th have not really come to the end of the equation just yet. So how is it going to turn out? You can bet this. It will either turn out, end up being righteous, or it will end up being evil. It won't be Republican and Democrat. It won't be conservative and liberal. It'll either be righteous or it will be evil. So I really just wanted to take a moment and share that with you, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope that it has made some benefit to some. But another thing that caught me about this evil thing, that evil can't even hide itself. And it really doesn't even care. They'll grab a gun in a minute. I just heard that they were having a pride rally, I think somewhere in Idaho or over that way, and they stopped a van, a U-Haul van or something like that. That was a crowd with a whole bunch of 31 individuals in it, ready to go over and start a riot. Ready to go over with some people trying to have a peaceful rally, trying to say, world, this is us. Whether you like it or not, this is us. We don't bring you harm or danger. We just want to live just like you.